What's up, everybody? Welcome in to the feed, to the live stream here on my YouTube channel, Philip Jordan Sports, on Facebook, on X at P Jordan SEC. Welcome into Talking Wrestling. Now, we're going to do this on Thursday night. The guy had planned to have on with me to help preview WrestleMania 40. Things that just did not work out, but decided, you know what? I want to do at least 20, 30 minutes, give my thoughts on WrestleMania 40. This is one of my favorite weekends of the year. Final Four, WrestleMania 40. And I'm not going to be here too long, 20 to 30 minutes at the most, just because the women's Final Four is coming up at 6. I want to check that out. But we're going to go about 20, 30 minutes, just kind of give my thoughts on each one of the matches going on at WrestleMania. Please, if you're watching the live stream on, like I said, YouTube, X, Twitter, or Facebook, please just leave a comment below. Give me your thoughts. What are you excited about with WrestleMania? What matches are you looking forward to? Of course, everybody's looking forward to The Rock and Roman versus Cody and Seth in night one. Of course, Cody versus Roman for the title in night two. But what other matches? There's some other interesting matches on the card, and we're going to go through them here pretty quickly. All right. And again, follow me on social media at P Jordan SEC. And I don't know if this is going to turn into an audio podcast. I may do it. And who knows if this will turn into something I do on a regular basis. If it does do really well, then I may do that. I may decide to go ahead and do a regular wrestling podcast. But this is just something I wanted to do. Just call it Talking Wrestling. Hope you guys will enjoy it. And I'm just a WWE guy. So if you're an AEW guy, look, I've tried to watch AEW. I'm glad they have that opportunity. More guys are getting to perform their craft, but I'm a WWE guy. One, there's some of that stuff with AEW is just not for me. Number two, only got so much time on my hands where I can watch so much wrestling. So WWE goes to the top of the list. So let's jump into the matches. Now, I got the match card off of Wikipedia. So this may not be the order they go. Now, I think that's pretty accurate over on Wikipedia which night each match is going to happen. But again, these matches may not go in order. So we're going to start off with the women's World Championship match between Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch. The build-up for this one has been quite interesting, to be honest. I think we all kind of saw this coming for the longest, especially when Bayley won the Royal Rumble. So, okay, they're going to do a thing here. They're going to do a storyline with her and Io. We'll get into that when we get to that match as well. But I think we kind of saw it going into Elimination Chamber in Perth. Okay, Becky's going to win. And then that's what happened. We saw everything with her. She won, and that's the big match. You have to not sell tickets, but attention. And this is the big match. This is something that's been teased throughout the past year between Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley. And I think at times Rhea Ripley's title reign has kind of not really hit too well, if I'm being honest. I don't think it's always been top priority. And a lot of times she's involved with Dominic or something else, and it just hasn't really been there for them. But I will say this match has really picked up some steam the last couple of weeks, especially when Rhea made that comment to Becky that her daughter would call her mommy. And we saw real emotion come out of Becky Lynch. And then, of course, this past week on the MMA Hour, they had a little tussle there set up there. So where things are going to go, I don't think it's the smart move to take the belt off Rhea with all what I just said. I do think a win over Becky does kind of really help her reign. Last year, she got the title from Charlotte, which that was a big deal. That's a big win. You get that rub off of Charlotte because we know what Charlotte has done and how the people view her. That's a strong victory for her character. And now you're going to see the same thing. I think she will beat Becky. I think it'll be a great match. I think it'll be an awesome match between the two. I don't see them putting out on a bad showing. But and I really feel like the crowd's going to be more behind Rhea in this one. I feel and that's not against Becky. I just think it's just like Rhea. And I really think we're going down the road for a face turn for Rhea. So it's going to be an interesting match. The Intercontinental Championship match will be Gunther versus Sami Zayn. Of course, Gunther is the champion, longest reigning Intercontinental champion of all time. This if you read all the rumors and speculation, what this was supposed to be Brock Lesnar. And I'm not going to get into why Brock Lesnar's not on this card or has not been seen anywhere in WWE. Everybody doesn't know, or I know people, the wrestling fans, know about the Vince McMahon stuff, but we'll just leave it at that on that one. But Gunther versus Sami Zayn have really built up Sami as this big underdog character going in this fight. Chad Gable's been coaching him and trying to tell him what he needs to do to beat Gunther. I just don't see Sami winning this one. I think Sami is a replacement. I would have rather seen Chad Gable, but then again, same time, Sami is a star. He gets a huge pop when he comes out. Where would you have put Sami Zayn if you don't do it here? Would he have been part of a tag match with his tag partner, Kev Owens, on SmackDown? What would he have done? And he's really had this almost like Rocky-like build up. Like he wants to be a world champion. He thinks he should be a world champion. We haven't seen that. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I think the champion retains here. I think Gunther will win. I just don't think Sami is the guy to dethrone Gunther of the Intercontinental Championship. Again, I think these two will put on a fantastic match on Saturday, but I just do not foresee them taking this title off of Gunther and putting it on Sami Zayn. Again, great showing, 100%, but at the same time, I just don't see Sami taking the win on this one. All right, this is quite an interesting matchup. The six-pack tag team match for the titles, for the undisputed tag team titles. You'll have the champions, Finn Balor and Damian Priest versus DIY versus the Awesome Truth, which is the Miz and R-Truth. The New Day, Kingston, Xavier Woods. Then you'll have Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, and then you have Tyler Bate. So I was kind of wondering, I really wasn't paying a lot of attention to this much until this past week when on Monday Night Raw, they talked about how this match will be set up, and then they'll have both sets of titles, the Raw and the SmackDown championships, hanging above the ring separately. So now I feel like we're going to have two winners here. I think the tag titles are getting split on Saturday. Now, who do I think is going to win them? You know, there's really been a strong push with DIY lately, and Miz and R-Truth as well. Kofi and Xavier Woods. I think they're there. I don't see them being a tag team you can see win this. Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, perhaps Pete Dunne, and Tyler Bate, perhaps. So here's my thing. I do not think Finn Balor and Damian Priest retain here. I think they will not get either championship back, and I do believe they will be walking out without the tag team titles. I know whatever Damian Priest said this past week on Raw was quite interesting. We'll see if we see a cash-in attempt maybe for him. I'll get to some thoughts on that maybe later on. So I'm not really sure who I want to go with, who I think is going to win the tag titles here. I just don't believe that Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston are going to come out on top here. I just don't think they are going to take the tag team titles. I will say I could see Austin Theory and Grayson Waller taking them, because in that way you do have heel champions on SmackDown. And then honestly, I think either way for the Raw side, Johnny Gargano or Tommaso Ciampa, or perhaps the Awesome Truth. I'm torn between those two. Honestly, DIY I think is the better route to go here. Then you can create tension between Miz and R-Truth, because they kind of all formed a little group here with them together on Raw. So we'll see how that goes. Then, okay, we're going to get into some bloodline stuff now. Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso, the brothers. And as soon as these two split up, you had to think, okay, there's going to be a match. When Jimmy cost Jey the title at SummerSlam against Roman, and then all of a sudden we see Jey move over the Raw, you had to think, okay, at some point we're going to see the Uso brothers go at each other. Now, I'm recording this before SmackDown on Friday evening, and we know that Jey Uso will go against his other brother, Solo. I'm sure Jimmy and some other people are going to get involved here. By the way, with SmackDown, I'm just going to call it, I don't really think we're going to see much out of Roman, Rock, Cody, and Seth. Maybe some backstage interviews or some some replays of some conversations had on the Pat McAfee show on Friday. But hey, I could be 100% wrong. But it just feels like that's not where that is going to go. But anyways, Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. I do believe Jey Uso goes over here and gets the WrestleMania win. I do like the fact that, okay, they put these guys. Now, if Wikipedia is correct, putting them in the middle of the card is actually pretty smart because you got to feel like perhaps these two may play a factor later on in the night in the big tag team match. But I do believe Jey Uso will go over in this match. I think it's going to be an interesting match. I think this is big just because it's connected to the bloodline. And I feel like they're going to tie this match between these two into the big storyline with The Rock, Roman, the bloodline with Cody and Seth. I think we'll see more out of these two later on in the night. All right, now we got a 6-woman tag team match. And this one should be quite interesting with Bianca Belair. She is my favorite on the women roster. Jade Cargill. So this will be her debut match, unless you want to count Royal Rumble as on a match. And then Naomi versus Damage Control. And for weeks, Damage Control had been beating up on Bayley, and then Naomi came out to help, and then so they were more targeting on Naomi. Then Bianca came out next week and helped. And then this past Friday night, we saw Jade Cargill come out, former AEW star. They presented her really well, powerful, a threat to Damage Control. So now you see these 3 women going up against, again, Damage Control. I kind of feel a certain way about the women's tag team. I guess they're not on the line here at WrestleMania, but I do believe Bianca, Jade, and Naomi will go over in this one. It just seems like I feel like this is going to be one of them weekends. It's going to be a bad weekend for Damage Control, and I'll explain more when we get into night 2. But I just feel like that's where that's going here. Then another tag match. This is 3 straight tag matches, so it'd be kind of interesting if this is the correct order, which you can never trust Wikipedia. We all know that. So next up, the tag team match: Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio. I saw a little rumor. I don't know how much. It's kind of hard to believe they would do this because I don't think it would do good to the character. But I saw something that said something about maybe Dominic Mysterio will turn face here and help Rey win. I don't think that's going to happen. So last year, of course, we had at WrestleMania, we had Dominic versus Rey, and Rey went over in that one. He won the match. I think what's going to happen here, of course, you got like Dominic, which of course that is Rey's son, and then on the other side you have Escobar, who is like a son to Rey. This is kind of honestly, I think this may be a good match to have before the big main event of night 1. But I would say I think Escobar and Mysterio will win this match. I think Dominic Mysterio will get the pinfall in that one. So he'll get a win, a pinfall over his dad. You're going to wait to see 1-1. I just don't see, like I said, I saw it float around Twitter this week, but I just do not see the benefit of turning Dominic Mysterio good right now, just because, one, he's not that good of a wrestler still in the ring. I mean, he's gotten a lot better. Don't get me wrong, he's gotten a lot better, but his skill in the ring is not that great, and the fans just love to boo him so much. I mean, I think the character he would be harmed by turning him face versus what he is now. All right, then we get the big tag team match, and actually we do have a comment. So before I jump into that, okay. Stone Cold will not lose. Let's hope Stone Cold makes an appearance this weekend. That will be really good to see the Texas Rattlesnake make an appearance, which there's been talk that they were trying to get him involved, but I think a lot of people are kind of hoping he gets involved in the title match at the end on night 2. But anyways, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins versus The Rock and Roman. Of course, we know the stipulation here. If Rock and Roman win, then the championship match between Cody and Roman for the WWE Universal title, I just like to call it the WWE Championship, will be Bloodline rules, which basically means anything goes. There are no rules. Now, of course, if Cody and Seth win, we know that the rule there is going to be there will be no bloodline. The bloodline cannot get involved, cannot be anywhere near the ring. It'll be a one-on-one fair match between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. Of course, we know this was obviously not the plan. We were going to get Rock versus Roman. You were probably going to get Cody versus Seth, especially with the CM Punk injury. But this is where we got now. And this is the best use as The Rock with a heel, in my opinion, because sometimes it is exciting when we're watching TV, we're watching Raw or SmackDown or premium live event, and The Rock makes an appearance. We all get excited. We pop for it. You know, we're happy to see The Rock is there. But then at the same time, it's kind of like the same old stick with him. You know, he says his catchphrases. It's the same thing. He'll hit a rock bottom or people's elbow on somebody. It's kiddie humor in a way. So seeing him as a heel, the final boss, he is a great villain. And I don't know if anybody saw this, but they had it's called WWE World. They're doing at Philadelphia for the event, and The Rock come out. He was late, and he said he was late because he was watching YouTube videos of Jalen Hurts losing once again in the playoffs. Of course, again, they're in Philadelphia, so big boots. He knew how to attack the audience there. He's done well at that. People still cheer him. I mean, he's The Rock. I mean, people are still going to cheer the Rocky chance, but it's mixed sometimes. But then he knows how to turn the crowd against him, and he's done that well. Pretty much ever except Memphis. He was not going to try to turn that crowd against him just because how he feels about Memphis. So, anyways, how do I think this match is going to go? You have to feel like Jimmy and Solo, maybe perhaps Paul Heyman, would get involved. I wouldn't be surprised if Drew McIntyre somehow gets involved in this one as well. And just, I've gone all over this explaining in the tag match. And this is also good use for The Rock because, look, he's in his 50s. We saw even 10 years ago when he came back, he got gassed. Is he in ring shape? We know The Rock is in phenomenal shape. We know that. But is he in ring shape? He doesn't do this every night, which neither does Roman, but does a little bit more than Dwayne does. So put him in a tag match. I think it actually can hide some of that. He can get rest and stuff like that. So that helps. I will say this. I feel like Rock and Roman are going to get the win here. I don't think it's going to be a fair one. I think they will get some help, like I said, from Jimmy and Solo. I feel like Jay will try to get involved. That will be a part of it. Will somebody else get involved? I think there's a lot of stuff you can look at this. This could be unpredictable, but I do believe that Rock and Roman will go over in this one to set up bloodline rules in the main event on night 2. All right, guys, I am going to take a 1-minute break just to catch my breath a little bit here. And then we come back from that. I will predict and preview night 2 of WrestleMania 40 here on Talking Wrestling.
96.9 The Legend is your connection to classic country legends. But Digio Strategies has other options too. News Talk 103.9 is your source for America's top news and entertainment shows. Like Rick and Bubba in the morning, Glenn Beck from 9 till 11 a.m., and Clay Travis and Buck Sexton middays from 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. Sean Hannity, Lars Larson, Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, and others fill your day with the latest news and views from America's top conservative voices. America at Night and Coast to Coast AM keep you company and connected throughout the night. Plus, Fox News, the Alabama Radio Network, and Wiregrass Daily News keep you informed with national, international, state, and local news. And with more musical choices like All the Hits, 106.7 KMX, Today's Country, 95.5 WTVY, and Music 107.7. Digio Strategies gives you more choices and more variety. Listen on air, online, and on our apps. 96.9 The Legend is just the beginning.
All right, welcome back into Talking Wrestling. I am Phil Jordan. If you're just joining us, of course, you check me out on Budget Podcast, but follow me on social media at PJordanSEC. Then check out on YouTube, check out on Facebook. If you're checking out on X, please. And if you have a comment or a match you're excited about or opinion on any of these matches I'm talking about, please post them in the comments. I'll read them as they pop up. So now let's go into night 2. We went over night 1. Went a little bit longer than I thought it would on that. World Heavyweight Championship. Again, I'm using Wikipedia. This is the order they had them in. Very well could not be the right order, but we're going to go with what Wikipedia had. They had the nights right where these matches are taking place, so we're going to go with that. The World Heavyweight Championship, and it would make a lot of sense if we do get bloodline rules for this match to go on last. But Seth Rollins, the champ, will take on Drew McIntyre, and CM Punk, of course, will be on commentary in this match. Now, it really feels like Drew McIntyre is going to win this one, doesn't it? It's just, and he's doing great work as a heel. And it's really like Seth Rollins is on in this match. It's like he's more of a factor in the tag match with Roman and Rock, along with Cody, than he is in his own championship match here. Because it seems like a lot of it's been Drew and CM Punk. I mean, just, when we had that, 2 Mondays ago, when it was Drew, Punk, and Seth kind of felt like an afterthought in this whole deal. And of course, like I said, Punk being on commentary, what will be his impact on the match? I do believe Drew McIntyre's winning this. I think the world title reign of Seth Rollins ends. Now, I could be 100% wrong and surprising. And The Rock has said that he would make Seth's championship go away. So maybe perhaps Seth could win this and then Damian Priest cashes in. What role will CM Punk play? I mean, you got to say, okay, yes, he's still injured. Will there be any level of physicality he can get in there? Will he just give a kick to Drew McIntyre? But I think overall, unless we have some craziness, Damian Priest cashing in or something like that, which it would be quite interesting with the past and the history between Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. It would be funny if Drew wins and Damian Priest comes out there and cashes in on him. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, he's still got a good bit before he can cash in on that. But I will say I'm going to go with Drew McIntyre. I think Drew McIntyre wins the World Heavyweight title. And it'll be great for him because, when he won the title before, it was during the WrestleMania that was in the warehouse. No fans, nothing. So he didn't get that. It'll be different here because he's a heel. And I'm sure he will win it in suspicious ways. But yes, I am going with Drew McIntyre to beat Seth Rollins. The WWE Women's Championship match between Io Sky, who's the champion, and Bayley. And I'm going to tie back into what I'm talking about with Night 1 with Damage Control. I think this is going to be a bad weekend for Damage Control. And if that happens, how they take it and move forward will be very, very interesting with that group. I do believe, and I saw that I didn't really know this, and it was hard to believe, but it's true. This is Bayley's first one-on-one match at WrestleMania. She's done so many great things. I'm going to get through this quickly. I think Bayley wins. I think Bayley is going to win the title here against Io Sky. And, they really have done a good job. Where Damage Control and Io have really gotten over on Bayley a lot since Bayley announced that she was going to go after Io. And it just seems right. Bayley wins the WWE Women's Championship here. Now, a grudge match between LA Knight and AJ Styles. See, I would have made this more like a street fight or no DQ or something, just the way these guys are going at each other. But AJ Styles is a veteran in the business. Now, I know LA Knight's not young either. I mean, he's really not that much younger than AJ Styles. But at the same time, LA Knight needs a big win here at WrestleMania against AJ Styles, a multi-time champion, a strong opponent for LA Knight, and then leapfrog this. He needs to win a title within the next year. But I think LA Knight goes over here against AJ. I know there was some teasing online. I saw maybe AJ will have a different kind of music that kind of fits his darker character at WrestleMania. That would be kind of cool to see. And there'll be some cool moments between these two. And I think it could break out into, if they do the match right, into a real fight. I still say no DQ or some kind of stipulation would have been better for this one, but we'll see how that goes. Triple threat for the United States Championship match, in the words of Jim Cornette, lazy booking. Logan Paul, the champion, against Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. And this is my opinion on this. I think Kevin Owens was just thrown into this because they didn't have anything else for him. Now, it has been fun. And then on Friday SmackDown, you will have the Randy Orton as a guest on the KO show. So, and these two really haven't got physical with each other. They've been buddy-buddy. I think maybe on SmackDown on Friday will be a good opportunity to give them to have some physicality with each other. Of course, Logan Paul, I'm sure, will jump in with the brass knucks. He'll capitalize on them somehow. Honestly, I don't see why you wouldn't keep the belt on Logan Paul here. Randy Orton, at this point in his career, I don't see him wanting the U.S. title. And then Kevin Owens has had it a lot. And I still think with Logan Paul, you can still build this thing up with him because hasn't really had the belt that long. Won it back towards the end of 2023. I think it's going to be fun. We're going to probably see a crazy RKO somewhere in here. He may probably hit one on Kevin Owens, and then we'll see. And then, look, what's next for Logan Paul? I think him and LA Knight need to do some business together down the road for the United States Championship. That would be a good belt for LA Knight to get as his first championship in WWE. And then maybe perhaps this branches off into a Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens deal. I don't know. But I feel like Logan Paul is the right choice to keep the belt on him here. And that's where they should go. 6-man tag match, Philadelphia Street Fight, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits versus the Final Testament, which is Karrion Kross in his group. I think this would be, if this is the order they go in on night 2, this would be a good spot for it. Put it right in front of the main event. Should be interesting. Street fight basically means it's going to be an ODQ match. But then again, if it's Bloodline rules, you don't want to have 2 of these matches back to back. So maybe they do this earlier. I don't know. But look, I think you should have Bobby Lashley and Street Profits go over. But I have a feeling Karrion Kross and group they are, because they really want Karrion Kross to be something. I don't think he ever is. He's all right in the ring, but I don't think he's really connected as a heel or anything else with the audience. And then finally, and which I believe will be a Bloodline rules match between Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. The Rock will be involved. I mean, you got The Rock there this weekend. I just don't see him not being involved in this. Solo, Paul Heyman, Jimmy. Look, a lot of people are saying maybe perhaps it's not Bloodline rules. Cody and Seth win on night 1, and then Seth is the one that does end Cody. I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna use a quote from Cornette once again. Lazy booking. That's what that is. It's too obvious. Now a lot of people say, well, John Cena and Stone Cold Steve Austin make an appearance here. I don't know. And we saw some conversation online on Friday that Roman Reigns would be leaving for a while after this. We saw that rumor last year, so it's kind of hard to take it. I just feel like you're doing this match again, 2 years in a row, Roman versus Cody. And especially when The Rock has said this is the last time he can compete for this title as long as Roman has it. I just feel like the way this thing's going, I feel like Cody is going to win. He's going to finish the story. And that's just kind of how I see this thing going down. Could be obviously wrong. I thought Cody was going to be the one to throw Roman last year. But if it's true, Roman's going to be gone for a while, and The Rock's going to be gone to this too. And then that's going to be interesting. What business goes on between those two? Roman could turn on The Rock and say, hey, you cost me the title, your involvement, all that stuff. Or then The Rock could be saying, well, you're lost, blah, 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 blah. And then Rock turns on Roman. So that's going to be a part of it, but it's going to be quite a moment. If this is Cody Rhodes finishing the story, it's going to be quite interesting. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think Cody Rhodes does finish the story, and then Monday Night Raw is going to be quite interesting. So that's my WrestleMania preview. Kept about 31 minutes or so. Like I said, let me turn this to an audio podcast. I can't tell you this is going to be a regular thing I'm going to do. It's WrestleMania. I wanted to do it. Kind of call it something different than from my other shows as well. But hope you enjoyed it. Please, if you're catching this on replay, leave a comment. On my other shows, I'll come back and all that good stuff. I may over the weekend, time permitting. We'll see. I might pop on here for a reaction of night 1 and night 2. We'll see. But anyways, that is my thoughts on WrestleMania 40. And I do believe that Cody Rhodes will finish the story. All right. I am going to get out of here. The women's Final Four is about to start. So I'm going to go check that out, do some other stuff. SmackDown be on tonight. I'll be catching that as well. It's going to be a fun weekend. Final Four. For people that follow me, P. Jordan SEC, Auburn stuff. Auburn spring game is this weekend. Be checking that out. WrestleMania. It's one of my favorite weekends of the year. So I hope everybody has a great weekend. Enjoy WrestleMania and all the others. If you watch the Final Four and the football, spring games, all that stuff. Anyways, follow me on social media, P. Jordan SEC, and I will talk to you guys some other time.